So after carefully looking at the statistics, the stats, and everything else that technically everyone likes to throw out like a common piece of bubblegum, I was looking at the Ouya console, looking at everything it has included within it, the practicability of customizing the device, allowing it free range for people to develop games and everything else in between. I've decided that I want to get the console. I'm going to be saving up as much as I can, hopefully by the launch date, and let's just hope this console does not blow up in the first runs of the console. Then we have to hear this big long line of apologies by the company. But again, I have some faith behind this console, and hopefully it is not going to be a buyer's remorse for me, especially because the 3DS so far has felt like that. Now, if you like the 3DS, you know what? You got your money's worth. For me so far, it just felt kind of a little bit disappointing, a little bit underwhelming for me. I mean, yes, there is some games coming out for it, as some fanboys will attest to that, but at the same time, some of these games just are not that interesting to me. I mean, they're trying to push out a console for kids who, quite frankly, can't play the game because it's under the age bracket that it's supposed to be intended for. So again, it's just like turning the 3D off and taking away the effect for the damn thing. So again, it's like using a slightly higher definized console handheld. But again, enough talking a little bit of smack towards the 3DS. I think it's a okay handheld. However, at the end of the day, it wasn't anything I was really truly happy about at the end of the time. With this console, could that possibly change my perspective of buying consoles upfront? Who knows? I mean, again, I'm going to be saving up for this. This is going to be a $999 model, so, it comes with HDMI, 2 AA batteries, a power adapter, wireless Bluetooth controller, the console itself, which is like a little bit bigger than I actually expected it to be. But at the end of the day, I do know a couple of my Android friends on here on YouTube as well as Facebook. They are quite ecstatic about this new device coming out. Some people are just liking it because it's just the fad at the moment. But at the same time, I'm looking at it as a third-party person because, again, I'm not a heavy Android user. I don't mind the interface at all. It's just the fact that, to me, it's $200 for something I'm probably going to flick my fingers across a couple times and be done with it. With this, it's a controller on the other hand. It's a little bit different than the play field that I've normally seen. And of course, on top of the Ouya, there's a couple other competitors that came out shortly after that have a similar approach to the Ouya, but at the same time, and I think a little bit cheaper, I believe, if not a little bit more expensive. The Ouya is going to be $9.99 again, or $99.99, and I'm probably going to grab one. I mean, the practicability behind this console is pretty interesting. As I hear, you can actually do playback with Blu-ray formatted discs, so you can actually play 1080p streams on this device. It has a decent array of power behind it. I mean, some people probably say, "Oh, my computer's stronger than this console or this handheld." Or they probably are definitely going to call it a handheld. As well as the NVIDIA Shield, I believe the console is called, that is coming out, which is this pretty much this big, bulky clamshell handheld that is shortly coming out, I believe, for $99.99, or not $99.99, what the hell am I smoking? $199.99, and that's, of course, supposed to be a little bit better than the Ouya console, which, of course, I do hopeful if NVIDIA is developing this said device, as well as I believe there is another console that's coming out as well, called the Game something or other. It's similar to the Ouya in design. It's a little bit bigger. It's kind of like just about roughly under the size of a GameCube console. But that, of course, can be pulled apart, and you can switch out the components of that thing, and it pretty much is this big, hulking, compact gaming rig of sorts. With the Ouya, I do believe you can actually customize the thing. I did hear about something about 2 screws or several screws you can remove, and you can actually swap out the components and upgrade the device if you choose to, which is quite interesting in at least, so that way a lot of the naysayers saying it's a one-all, be-all kind of console, it of course probably opens up a wide range and variety for a lot of its owners. So again, you can develop games for this. You can what else? You can try games out for free. I mean, this sounds quite interesting. Some people are going to say it's just like excuse me, wow, brain fart, touch my nipples. It's going to be just like the on live interface where it's just going to be that flop that's going to just be like okay at first, and then people are going to be like, oh, okay, whatever, and walk away from it. Personally, I think this is going to be an interesting investment for myself because, again, at the end of the day, it looks like something that would probably drag me into the Android market a little bit, or the Droid market slightly, and allow me to, develop a taste for this. It's sort of like eating sushi in this example. Either you like sushi or you don't. That's all there is to it. But anyway, are any of you guys going to be picking up the Ouya console when it comes out? Because quite frankly, I'm looking at it, I am smiling at a certain aspect of it. At the same time, I really hope it does not disappoint me like the 3DS did so far. Because as far as I am concerned with the Ouya console, it looks practical enough for me to own. It's small enough, I can easily put it on my computer desktop here, have it stretched all the way out to my TV, and be able to play high definition games, hopefully. So, take it easy folks, thank you guys so much for watching, and do not forget to touch your nipples.